I got a big deal coming. The big deal.
If you're hearing our voices, that means it's time for It's This Meets That podcast, where we watch the worst movies from trailer to end credits, scene by scene, so you don't have to, but maybe you should. I'm Russ.
I'm Jared.
Yeah, we've been waiting for that deal for a long time.
Yeah, that was my Willem Dafoe.
That was pretty good, actually. You did a good.
Oh, not terrible.
No, not terrible. It was like borderline Green Goblin /
Yeah,
just normal Willem Dafoe.
I was leaning into Green Goblin. Willem Dafoe.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so yeah, we're here. We got a new movie we're doing. So we're doing trailer trash. We're gonna watch the trailer. We're gonna pick it apart, and then we'll watch the full movie another time.
That's right. Same thing we do every week. Try to take over the world.
So I don't know. We watched the trailer, and why don't you get into what it is? Why don't you tell us what it is? Give us the IMDb summary.
That's right. A movie that I had never heard of until this afternoon. Somehow,
me neither.
It's called The Last Thing He Wanted, and came out in the year of our Lord 2020.
Yep. Yeah.
Which no wonder we didn't hear about it. I guess.
Yeah. I just got like, oh, that's poor. That's poorly timed.
Yeah, something else happened that year, I guess.
Netflix movie too, and I think this is when they're on their big push. Like, we're going to release an awesome movie every week or whatever, and it's like, meh, meh.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Sorry.
Yeah, we'll see how that works out.
The real world has different plans for you.
Yeah. So I can tell you what this is about. At least I haven't read the log line yet, but I'm going to now for me and the listeners.
Good luck.
Thank you. A veteran DC journalist loses the thread of her own narrative when a guilt-propelled errand for her father thrusts her from byline to unwitting subject in the very story she's trying to break. Adapted from Joan Didion's namesake novel. I'm assuming Didion is the pronunciation.
Yeah, I'd go with Didion, yeah.
Yeah, not bad, right?
Yeah, it's one sentence.
Yeah, it's
technically two, but
first one's a doozy, but
yeah, a little bit, but I don't know. It's okay. It's better.
I like it.
Yeah, it's not. It's not the worst.
No, descriptive.
Yeah, it's all there. Yeah, I don't know. Like, so this is a Netflix movie, and I heard nothing about this. Didn't pop. Most of my feed is full of FBI crime thriller dramas and stuff like this, and this has not shown up anywhere ever. So
shockingly, because this seems like it's a crime thriller drama.
Seems like something I would check all the boxes for me. So, all right. Well,
mine's all bad movies now. They're like, oh, you watched The Do-Over? You'll love the whatever stupid ass 6 or
stupid. You need to create another profile. That's what I do.
I do. That's smart. An ITMT profile.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Wise.
This and Prime. You can't be having this show littering your own personal choices.
No, I like to pollute everything. Like we just finished. We just finished watching Swarm on Amazon, which was great, by the way. If you haven't watched it yet, you'll like it, I think.
Okay.
Very, very good. Donald Glover limited series, 7 episodes, nice and short.
Okay.
But as soon as we finished, it popped up and it was like, want to watch P.S. I Love You again? And I was like, no. Tyson's like, ooh, want to watch P.S. I Love You again? I was like,
no, delete.
Let's not. Thank you for asking.
Can I make it to the window quick enough? All right. Before we get into the trailer, do we have any phone service?
We do not. So, listeners, this is our call that you should heed. Send us an email, please. thismeetsthat@gmail.com. We'll read it in this segment. We've been branching out a little bit. You could send me a Slack at work. You could send us a text, like group text would be nice.
You could have ChatGPT put an email together for you to send to us.
That's right. Just do that. That's way easier.
Just be like email to movie podcast and then see what comes out.
That's right. Maybe throw in a couple of ITMT episode descriptions and do it like in the style of ITMT episode descriptions. Write us an email.
Done. Right?
Easy enough. Yeah. I'll write your prompts for you, but we'll read them here.
Yes. You're just going to end up writing emails for people to send to us so we can reread.
Fuck. I always knew it would end like this.
Yep. Okay. Well, that's cool. Should we just get into the trailer?
Yeah, might as well.
And I think this trailer classifies as coming in hot.
That's right, which I love. Great work. Not a fake coming in hot either, a real coming in hot.
And I'm excited that it comes in hot, and I didn't know this either. First person we see, Rosie Perez, fired up.
That's right.
Love it.
Love Rosie Perez, yeah. I forgot that was one of the names I did not mention to you.
Yeah. So we had Rosie Perez, Associated Press, so we know we're in some press room here, right? Mm-hmm. And then we kind of pull back. Maybe we get Anne Hathaway, friend of the pod. She's just hanging out, smoking the cigarettes as you did back in the 80s, right? Indoors, the 80s. Right? Yes. Smoking cigarettes best. Indoors. Oh my God.
Just everything has a film on it. Yeah. like a thin film of gross.
Just giving cancer to everyone else around you too, why not?
Ruining your electronics. It's just amazing.
Coating the blind, just making this film on the windows. Oh yeah.
You'll never clean that.
Nope. Just permanently stinking all the furniture.
Yeah. ITMT safety tip number 108. Don't smoke inside.
Yeah, that's
it's bad for kids
and for everyone. So
yeah.
But they didn't know.
Mostly the children.
Yeah, but in the 80s, they didn't know. They didn't know, right?
That's true. Ignorant.
Yes.
Y'all are ignorant.
So she's just hanging out, smoking, ripping butts. And then she got a quick voiceover line. She's like, some real things have happened lately. And then boom, let's fire this trailer up. Some military types come rolling in, right? Taking over, scaring people. All the other people in the room are kind of scattering around him up. Hell's broken loose. She's on the run. She's running out. There's quick cuts.
You love to see it.
Yeah. And there's like the heavy pounding musical note, that's happening. This trailer all of a sudden felt like it was like a Marvel movie.
Yes. Yeah. In a good way.
Yeah. And like even the music at the very end, I was like, what? I'm so excited to see this movie. The music is just, this is exciting.
Yeah.
And then just like her hopping on a plane, shots of planes, and then we cut to black, right?
Yeah, and meanwhile, Anne Hathaway has some throwaway voiceover, and she's like, "I have to know why."
Yeah,
I don't care.
Yeah.
So far,
sell me on it. And we got a title card, Netflix film. Snuck past us all. And then we cut to not friend of the pod, Ben Affleck.
No, I don't think we've talked about him more than once. So.
No, God, try to keep it to a minimum.
That's right.
I don't,
and we've never done a Ben Affleck movie, so this is a first, right?
Have not, which is, I mean, he's got some bad ones in there. We could do.
Oh yeah,
right.
He's got plenty of stinkers.
Yeah, I mean, everyone does. You got to go through the stinkers to find the good, right?
That's right. That's right. I was just reading it, not to derail us like I always do, but I'm going to.
Yeah.
Literally before I even suggest this movie, I was reading an article about how Ben Affleck and Matt Damon had a joint checking account when, like back in the 80s, like late 80s.
When you could smoke inside, right?
Yeah, late 80s or early 90s, and it was basically like when they were roommates. You knew they were roommates, right?
Yeah.
So they had a joint checking account, and the rule was you put in money from movies, and they could only use it for going on auditions and doing that kind of stuff.
That's okay. All right.
Yeah,
I like it. That's dedication right there. The two of them. Yeah.
Interesting best friends move.
Yeah. Why don't we have a joint ITMT?
I mean, it's only a matter of time.
After a while, the bank will be like, we have to close this because there's no money in it, and there's never been money in it.
Yeah. You've just overdrawn it 15 times. Stop that. You owe us $500 in fees that you
damn
it. The balance has been zero the whole time.
Do you guys even know how a bank account works?
No, sir.
So we get the Ben Affleck there. He's chatting with some official, U.S. looks like a senator maybe or whatever. Sure.
Somebody in the government, presumably.
Yeah. He's got the lone photo of Reagan in the background there, American flag and accordion. Then we get the typical thriller ticking, music sound effect thing going, picking up, right?
Yep. And he's talking about, we got a reporter with a moral compass on our hands over here. And you're like,
okay. Intriguing. Okay. And then, of course, we get a few quick shots of our hero, Anne Hathaway. Yep. Do we know her name yet? I don't know her name.
Nope.
So she's just being a reporter. She's taking photos, typing, checking out a bullet casing, looking at a bullet. And then we got him continuing on, and he's like, she's always a step ahead. Everything that happens, she sources up and goes to print, right?
Classic. Yeah, that's a better summary than what I had. Yeah. I wrote Affleck in a suit talking about something being in print. So you're immediately better off than I am.
All right. And we get a title card, An International Conspiracy. Ooh. Okay.
I love a good international conspiracy.
There's nothing better, right?
Not enough.
Perfect cue up for my book that's coming out this spring, 2023.
Ooh, nice. Good plug.
There is an international conspiracy in there, kind of ish, sort of intrigue.
Yeah, by the time we release this episode, you'll probably be doing the pre-marketing, right?
Probably will be doing the pre-marketing. So
sick.
Get fired up.
Can't wait.
And then we cut to truck pulling into an airport, plane getting loaded up, right?
Yep. Classic boxes of guns. If I've watched one Jared Leto movie, I've seen a couple to know that what boxes of guns look like.
We'll call them arms. Boxes of arms.
Boxes of doll arms.
Doll arms. Everyone knows that's what Leto carries around with him. And we get another voiceover, right? And she's like, these people are starting to move a surplus of arms to Contras, right? And this is kind of intercut with the planes and the loading, and then her sitting on some floor with like a line of phones. Looks like she's in like another like press investigation room or something, right?
Yeah. And this is when I got excited because I was like, Contras? What?
Yeah, like the video game.
just like the video game.
That's what I'm thinking, right?
That's what the Contras are based on.
Maybe I'm prognosticating a little too soon, but I think this is the prequel to the 1980 something video game Contra.
That's right.
And then we get a shot of we get a president there. At first, I thought
is that a president?
I don't know.
Is that who they have playing Reagan?
I don't know. Like at first, the way he did the arms, I was like, that can't be Tricky Dick. That's too soon, right? That's too early. So I was like, well, who is that though? It's gotta be. It looked like it was a president, like up on a stage or something, doing like a.
Oh yeah.
It would have been Reagan, right? So.
Yeah. Well, because the movie's set in like 84 or something.
84.
Yeah. So gotta be.
But anyways, then we get more voiceover. We can't just look away. It's Anne kind of talking about how there's a situation going on here. We need to track it down.
That's right.
And we get another title
journalism.
Card. We get another find the truth, right? And we get another title card. Begins with.
I hate when they do this. Spread out a sentence over 2 minutes, and I can't follow.
And we get some upper rank military, type, right? He's just flipping through some photos. He's giving some details to Ange because she's doing her, due diligence here.
And he's like, well, these are probably M16s, I'd guess. No shit.
You could tell by the photos, these are clearly doll arms. Why? What's the big deal?
These are obviously boxes of doll arms.
What's the big deal?
Ends that with, but who's the old man? And you're like, what?
That's my old man.
Good segue.
Yeah, we get a quick shot of Anne being like, that's actually my old man. And then the music kind of swells a bit, and we get another title card, right? The last person she expected. So an international conspiracy begins with the last person she expected. She clearly doesn't know her dad too well, I guess.
Not psyched that this is the angle we're taking an Iran-Contra movie, but okay.
Yeah.
Or Iran. I don't know. I think we should probably say Iran, I guess.
Is it Iran?
I think Iranians would say Iran.
Okay.
Yeah. Iranians, let us know.
Let us know.
I think we had a listener in Iran once, weirdly.
Yeah, right. They're like,
I know you have spotty internet over there, depending on when the government allows you to
be on it or do that. Send us an email. So we cut to a bar with Willem Dafoe just in sunglasses and Anne being like, Dad? Just like that. That was my best Anne Hathaway. Dad?
Almost as good as my Willem Dafoe.
And then it's like a kind of, it looks like they just chopped up the actual scene, and it's just like him being like, yeah, I got him talking about a big deal. I got the deal.
The big deal. Like,
okay.
Spider-Man.
Catch you, Spider-Man. He's not Skeletor. So her dad's Skeletor. And then we cut to another title card, and we got from director D. Rees.
Who I'm not familiar with.
I'm not either, and I didn't look him up. So check out.
He or she?
Great question. DEE Rees.
D could go either way.
Yeah, listen to part 1 next week to find out.
Yep, it is a Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
Spoilers. Spoilers for part 1. Cut that. But just bleep it out.
Yeah, just bleep it out.
Yeah, you'll find out in part 1.
Part 1. Ooh, don't use the internet between now and then.
That's right. We're looking at you, Iran.
Oh my god! And then we cut to Anne. I think she's in a hospital on the phone. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she's like, "My dad's into something, right?" And on the other line is Rosie Perez, and she's like, "What is a queen?" No, she's like, and Anne's like, "I don't know." And then Rosie Perez is like, "I'm gonna come down there," and Anne's like, "Don't." And Rosie's like,
"Okay,
you probably can't jump either." And Anne's like, "No, I can't."
This is gonna be a long 3 episodes.
Sure is, because Rosie Perez, I'm so excited to see Rosie Perez in something.
She's great.
It's been forever, it feels like.
Oh, really? You didn't watch
Was she in something else recently?
Flight Attendant, I feel like, was the thing that she was in.
Oh, right? The show on HBO. I've heard of that. It was really good, but I did not watch it.
It is very good with Kaylee Cuoco and other actors.
Rosie Perez.
But Rosie Perez is great in it.
I did not know.
Pivotal role.
Excellent. Well, maybe now I'll go watch it. So then we get the ticking sounds kind of picking up, tick, 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 right? And and then what did she say? I don't want to track it from this end or something. I don't know. So I missed that. It was kind of making.
Didn't write it down.
Then we got a plane coming in, landing, right? And a shot of Anne in sunglasses, and then a shot of the outside of the airport.
It was Miami, and I was like, "Oh, is she picking up Rosie Perez at the airport?" But nope, she's going to Costa Rica.
Yep.
Maybe with Rosie Perez. I don't know.
I think so, because at the end, well, we'll get there. But so then
she's definitely there at some point.
Yeah. Hits customs while you visiting Costa Rica. She's like, vacation, dropping lies. And then we cut to her walking down like a dock, like a bunch of boats, right? And she's meeting some dude.
Classic dock move. Yeah.
You waiting for somebody? He's like, I think I'm waiting for you.
Always meet people at the docks.
Right. And if someone asks you if you're waiting for someone, just be like, I think you, and see what happens. Anything can happen. You end up in a warehouse like she did. No, and he's like, actually,
should that be a safety tip? Don't do that. Don't do any of that.
Don't do any of that. It should be probably.
Yeah. But it won't be.
It won't be.
Boxes of doll arms, as far as the eye can see.
Yes. And he's like, I think everything's here. And then we cut to another title card, right? And this February, 3 years ago. And then we cut to, we get a quick voiceover, right? And we get that political looking guy, right? He's like, this whole operation is gonna blow up in someone's face. But he starts saying that it's intercut with like some dude in like a suit standing outside of a car. And
passing a wad of cash through the window.
Yeah, the old stack of cash in a newspaper, right?
Yeah, works every time.
No one's gonna see that. And then the political dude from the beginning telling Affleck, figure it out.
Yeah, you got to do something.
And Affleck just looking Afflecky, he's like, well, I guess so.
I can tell that his lines are going to be terrible in this movie for sure, because they don't do any of them in the trailer.
Yeah, there's none. He's got one, I think.
Yeah, exactly.
Which we're coming up to. Well, I guess the opening one, the voiceover he had, but
yeah.
And then we cut to Rosie, and she's like, no one's been able to get a read on this guy talking about Affleck, it seems. At least that's how they're playing it in the trailer, right? And they cut to Affleck, and he's like walking around with that smarmy Affleck smile on his face, in some official building. And then Rosie's like on the phone. She's like, just that when he shows up, it's usually the end of something, not the beginning, bro. And Anne's like, and we cut to black.
And she gets off a plane in an airfield.
A lot of airplanes in this one. I guess it's, you got to, when you're moving arms, they got to go on airplanes, right? So,
that's usually the most efficient way to move arms around.
Yeah. Doll arms we're talking about.
Of course.
Yes, of course.
Yeah. You want an airfield for sure. And like a sketchy, like not an airport. Like this is like, just like some field that somebody cleared in Central America.
Right. Yes.
That's what you want.
Yes. Yeah, an airport, and like some dudes open a crate of quote unquote doll arm goods.
Yeah,
he's like, where'd you
bombs this time?
He's like, they're doll heads. He's like, where'd you get these doll heads? And they're doing like a little test of the mines, or whatever, and shit's exploding. He's all like, that's awesome, and Anne's like, yikes.
Oh boy,
what have I got myself into? It's hot in here. And we get shots of her being paranoid, and things are starting to pick up a little bit, right? And we get some dude listening to a recording, and then she's like, how'd you find me? And then we finally get Ben Affleck doing some lines here, intercut with his big round face. He's like, if you had a report, I think is what he says. Yeah, if you had a report tracking a load of munitions south of America, wouldn't you pick you? And like intercut of like close-ups of his face and her face, and then her in like a truck with some local or something like that. I don't know.
Awesome.
And then we get like a little truck chase scene, right?
Yeah. Is that before or after the title card for Anne Hathaway?
That's before.
Okay.
Yeah. It's before, because they do all the action. Then they're going to go into like the actor title cards, right?
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
So things are amping up, and like music's picking up, and
there's a lot of Anne Hathaway looking vaguely concerned from here on out.
Yes, every shot close up is just her either sweating and looking concerned, or just looking concerned,
or confused. But
confused, concerned, understandable state. So
totally.
So we get the title card, Anne Hathaway, friend of the pod,
and it's her walking around, and then she carjacks a guy, which I was like, interesting.
Yeah, well, then there's some guy in a truck, and he's like asking her, if she thinks she'll get far, and she's just firing a gun. She's like, get out of the truck.
Yeah.
Grand Theft Auto 4, 5, 6, whatever we're in now. And title card, Ben Affleck.
And
shot of him.
Walks around like Bruce Wayne.
Yeah. Him just being Bruce Wayne. Another title card, Rosie Perez, and shots of her taking photos in the back of like a truck. It looks like she's in Costa Rica. Another title card, and Willem Dafoe, right? Shot of his mug.
Just sitting in a chair.
Yeah, and we get some dude. I think this is the same guy that was in the truck that she was pointing a gun at to tell him to get out of. And he's just like, "Hey, you could have gotten on a plane and left this place." Blah blah blah. And it's intercut with a shot of like on a truck, and then some military truck zoom by with some military dudes on it.
Yep, she's looking at stuff.
She's looking at stuff like, "Whoa, looking at stuff. Whoa, stuff. I'm looking at it." Playing with doll arms. And then we get a voiceover, right? Her kind of wrapping things up here. She's like, in a perfect world, we make perfect choices. And then there's just like the crazy quick shots, right?
Yeah. She like holds her dad at gunpoint, I think.
I think so. Like in like a house or something. He's in the kitchen. She's running. Some other dude in a sketchy truck. Her face again. Ben Affleck not looking bothered on a deck.
Yeah.
She's on a local bus, and music is just building, and finally just does that final, like, we cut back to her, and the voiceover continues, right? And she's like, in the real world, we make real choices.
What a stupid set of sentences.
Yeah, I'm not like, I think if you wrote that out, you're like, all right, that sounds good. But when you say it out loud, you're like,
rewrite that.
Yeah.
Nope. People said, no, put it in the trailer.
And then we get a shot of Van again, looking sweaty and concerned. And it looks like she's wearing like a military jacket, right?
Rosie Perez behind her taking pictures of stuff.
Yeah, taking photos in the background. And then that's it. Title card.
Yeah.
The last thing he wanted.
And then this is the second time in a row. Did this happen on the last movie too? Or like very recently, we got our post credits credits.
Yeah.
Right? Yep. We got a based on the book by Joan Didion.
Yep.
Which we're hoping is pronounced correctly. Screenplay by Marco Villalobos. Cool name.
Yeah. And that name sounds familiar.
It does sound kind of familiar, right? And directed by Dee Rees, and then Netflix again, just to make sure, in case you forgot.
And the trailer was only like 1 minute and 40 seconds, but the whole
not bad.
The whole video though on YouTube is like 2 minutes, and it's just all Netflix just being like, you know what, click here, click here, click here.
Yeah.
So
my favorite.
That's it. That's the trailer.
I'm excited about
it. I'll say like the trailer. Yeah, it looks good. It looks like intriguing. Like I'm intrigued,
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm curious to see why this is at 5%.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
not a good sign.
No, just like totally got buried. But all right. I don't know. So Jared and Russ prognosticate?
Yeah, might as well.
What do you got? What do you think? What do you got going on in this crazy world here?
Yeah, I mean, this is a tough one because like I wonder how much of reality there is here at play, because it seems like probably not a lot. Like my first thought was, oh, what if Ben Affleck is Oliver North? But I was like, there's no way.
No way.
That would be too obvious. And so yeah, I'm gonna say probably I think I'm gonna go realistic, kind of grounded.
No, I like it. Okay, that's okay.
Yeah, I think that Anne Hathaway is going to do all of the heavy lifting of uncovering the Iran-Contra affair.
Yep. And it'll be solved. No.
Well, yeah. I think, yeah, there'll definitely be lasting consequences. I'm sure we'll never do anything like that again.
No. Shipping doll arms all over the place. No. Why would you want to do that?
Impossible. So I think she's going to uncover it. I think Ben Affleck, maybe in a twist, is going to like come to the good side and be like, oh shit, maybe this is unethical. I think all of our main characters are going to die by the end.
Okay.
For sure. I think everyone involved dies.
Okay.
Just because like you can't do this and not die, right?
Yeah. Someone's got to quiet you, shut you up. So
running in some dangerous crowds here.
Yeah.
And then I think HW becomes president later, and it all works out.
That's how the movie ends.
Yeah, that's right. I think somebody pardons Oliver North eventually, and yeah, I think it ends on a real downer. I think everybody dies.
Well,
Reagan gets to continue. Yeah. Reagan gets to keep being president. Nobody cares. Everything is hunky dory, and then we'll do some wars later.
I think what's gonna end up happening is that I think Affleck, he's like kind of a cleaner. He's kind of almost like a low level thug almost for
like an Oliver North.
Yeah, for the mafia. But we're gonna find out his code name is actually Geely, and he's been assigned to
go on
to make sure that the doll arms make it to his actual boss, which is the LA crime boss over in California there.
Al Pacino?
Yeah, so when he successfully gets the doll arms right to California because because they need to be in California. We're actually re-importing them back into California. They're so valuable on the streets that and he's in charge of making sure that they make it back to California. And that's where Jennifer
where the Contras live.
Yes, and that's yes. Well, so then J-Lo shows up and she's there and she's actually like kind of running the show. And she's like, "Hey, I need these doll arms to get out to the street." So I agree that I think some people have to die here. I think most characters die. I think Willem Dafoe's he's going to die
for sure.
I think Anne Hathaway, she's like going to get killed, but she somehow gets away and she also sneaks to California because she needs to like kind of uncover this whole what's going on, right? And then that's where she meets Topher Grace, and they're kind of like dating and kind of falling in love. But her cover is that she is actually a phone sex operator in California, and she's using it as cover, working for Queen Latifah, while she's trying to uncover the truth about the doll arms conspiracy. We'll call it the doll arms race. Yes. Yeah. And I think she's, that's it. I think she's just still on the tail, but it ends with her just being like, and I got to keep searching.
I think you're onto something here. And just because it was filmed in 2019, I think we're going to get an Ollie North cameo. I think we're going to, I think at the end, it's going to be like a Catch Me If You Can kind of thing, where he's aha.
That sounds good. Yeah, I think that's really what this whole Contra thing is about. And then, of course, the video game will have been made a couple years later, based on these events.
That's right. And no one will have consequences for war crimes.
Nope.
Contra. When I think Contra, I think run and gun. Right.
That's right. I think run and doll arm. That's what I think. So
that's all I could think about.
Marco Villalobos. Yeah, I think that's it. I'll be honest. I'm not feeling totally strong about that one, but
yeah, I'm excited. No, that was good though. Much better than mine. Mine's depressing. I think mine's just going to end in sadness.
Well, it's a tough time, and it's,
That's right. 1984. Tough time. And I hope the listeners are excited because I am going to talk a lot about the Sandinistas in part 1 and 2.
Jared loves his history. He loves this stuff. He loves the 80s. Yep.
That's right.
So get ready
when we impose our political systems on the rest of the world.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's the best. It's called nation building, Russ.
Why doesn't anyone else realize how good we're doing for them?
That's right. But people don't understand that ITMT is a journalism podcast first and foremost.
Deep down, hidden under a movie breakdown podcast.
You're welcome.
So stay tuned for next week for the history lesson that will be called ITMT: The Last Thing He Wanted,
based on a true story.
Yes. So
presumably.
So I think that's it. Do we put the nail in the doll arm crate here, or what?
I think so.
Do we ship these doll arms out?
Make sure there's some hair in the box.
Gotta have fake hair to go with the doll arms.
Right.
Because
not fake hair.
Oh, real hair.
That's right.
Oh, yes. I mean, that's why. I forgot to add. That's why the doll arms have to go down to Costa Rica, because that's where they source the hair down there.
That's right.
Put them back in the boxes, then ship them back to California, where then they get sold on the street.
It's called trade routes.
It's
called globalization.
Yes. So there you go. All right, that's it. Thanks for listening, everybody. We'll be back next week with a history lesson and talk about economics, world economics, and nation building, and our full breakdown of all those topics. And this movie.
Going to be a long one.
It's going to be the last thing we all want. In the meantime, you can follow us on Instagram at It's This Meets That. We're ITMT Pod on Twitter. And wherever you listen, subscribe on Apple. We're on Spotify, wherever it is. Just hit the subscribe button. And if you got a friend who you think might enjoy it, pass along.
Yeah, get that WOM marketing, right?
Yeah.
People say that, right? WOM.
Yep.
While you're doing some WOM, you can also leave a review for us. That'd be appreciated. 5 stars, maybe a comment would be nice. Or if you want to leave us long form feedback, you can send us an email. We mentioned it earlier. We'll read them in the fan service. Always do. As soon as we get one, I'm hot on it.
Boom. It's up there.
It's thismeetsthat@gmail.com. Or go to the website. Forgot everything we just said. You want to, I don't know, somehow you're still listening to this episode and you're like, well, I don't want to rewind 10 seconds. Go to the website. All the information's there. You can find all the old episodes, information about me and Russ, the rest of our ITMT crew. We know we have a robust staff at this point.
Yep.
It's thismeetsthat.com.